Hello, I'm probably Mothman, and you're you. I think. And we're coming back to Valheim. I can't say for certain when this will exist for all of you, but for me it exists after I've had about well, I had a longer break. Came back to record like 2 videos, which I then released all in 1 week with one older video. Took a week off to go to a con, and then came back and I'm recording this now. So, you know, Chronomancers have fun with that one. But it is nice to be back. The trip was a lot of fun. And I have no recollection of what I was doing now that I think about it. Let's see. I have Fiddles, Frost and Poison Resistance. I think I was building a portal to Hildir, if I'm remembering correctly. Well, no, I think... Okay, I think right now this leads to Hildir, which means that I need to build a portal up there. Luckily, I have resources for this. It is becoming progressively more clear that I need to build a... Since I don't want to use this place for storage, I need to build some other storage facility I can warp to. So that's Hildir. Hildir over here. Yeah, it's like just at the corner of that little hole there. Nature. I don't have a great recollection of what exactly I was doing over at Hildir's place. I think maybe I got some of what I was thinking done. But we're gonna... Okay. Alright, it's not great, but I'm also... Sorry, let me rephrase. I like the design, I like what I was doing. I mean more, I wish it was further along when I say it's not great. So I was expecting it to be just a bit further along in its construction, but you know what? It's probably fine. I know I got a little weird with the roof here, so I don't know exactly how that would play with, doing something like that. Oh, that's right, I'm missing wood. I need to eat food too. less worried about giving her walls. The meadows are a lot less crazy than the Black Forest. Then again, she did get jumped and got her wares stolen, so maybe some walls would be of comfort. I don't have a great idea right now, so I'm not going to try and force anything. And if I learned anything from building near Hildir, it's that mystical force extends a little farther than that bubble. Which is part of the reason that's a all boat end. And that just means having to build pretty big if I'm going to do anything around this, which I do like doing, but it does also come with that pesky requirement of time, resources, and most in most short supply attention span. I think what I'm going to do is, I don't want to call them like quick and dirty finishing touches, but I'm going to try and just make things look nice enough for me to not be bothered by leaving them where they're at. That's the phrasing I'm going to choose. Lovely. I think the only thing I'm really missing in here is just some decoration. I think this could be pretty cozy if I actually put some stuff in it. Can I do much here? I like having some of the slope, but I also think that I think I'm gonna need to just make use of the space, so we're gonna do that. We don't mind a little bit of dirt creeping into the corner, but we're gonna I'm getting a little lost in the sauce already. I'm thinking that it would be very difficult for me personally because the character model is a certain height. But, you know, I can kind of build this with the thought of, like, Hildir using it. And that makes me think, like, oh, you know, if I put the bed up a little bit higher, you know, at a height that wouldn't necessarily bother a dwarf, then I could, you know, maybe just let that be part of the interior decorating. However, that then also means having a bed with only enough headroom for a dwarf, which, though is kind of fun, a dwarf this character is not. Can I just use the single block? We'll do it that way. Of course, I gave all those, you know, gripes and reasons I probably shouldn't do this, and then immediately started to, so, you know, make of that what you will. to, actually. What do we get if I do this? A little weird, but not the weirdest thing I've done. This is that intense Valheim action that you come for. Bed placed. Legitimately trying to figure out if this was like trees I cut down or a bunch of gray dwarves. I think that's pretty cozy from the outside. I was hoping that would behave just a little different. You know what we can do, though? Do something like that. Use those one wides. And... no, we'll even give ourselves one right there. Is that actually where it needs to be, or is that like off by a tiny hair? Well, I can't tell, and it's going to drive me insane. But that's okay. What if we combine those two options? Okay, I kind of like something like this because it lets for some storage underneath. That's a little funky, but it's fine. Alright, and we'll give them a chest underneath the stairs. One by fireplace. Now, I just don't have on me some of the supplies for doing actual decorating, so this might be sort of a, you know, as I find some things to use, I will bring them back. And sort of the same probably for Hildir. But let's gonna move in the workbench here at the least. You know what? Is there any way for me to like get it under there? kind of throw it there. Alright. Should be the right spelling. Alrighty. What do you sell right now? Tunic, cap, purple cap, sparkler, iron pit, barber kit. Okay. Cosmically speaking, where were we? Oh, that's right. We were running around, kind of tracing out the outside of the map. I keep feeling like I keep saying, like, oh, I'm not going to go mapping while I'm recording, and then I feel like I keep doing it, so I might just keep mapping. Not without going back and getting the supplies for another portal, though, because that will get me into trouble if I run off with no way back. Of these, and where the fine wood at? There we go. Alright, so we have enough for one more portal. And we're just gonna make sure. Yes. Excellent. And then just enough wood to... we'll take 25 with us, why not? Ike here for running. We're golden. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, we're basically on Swamp Quest. Let's see, we were that way, and then running down there. I think we're just going to keep up on that. Alright. Got enough food to get away with this. I've got some poison resistance for... that must be why she said, look what the neck dragged in. She's surrounded by them. Is that a... oh, that is a 1-star neck. Another... oh, that's like 2 1-star. I actually haven't seen that many, like, starred creatures in close proximity to each other. Yeah, like, they're just necks, so I'm not that worried about it, but... oh, it's kind of nifty. So there's, like, a little tiny house. That way. I was doing the mental math on if I like having acorns on me because I really like oak trees. On this spot, a tree fell on my head and I cursed the gods. So I leave this stone in praise of them, that they might forgive my reckless words. I really like acorns and, I hope that isn't the tree that fell on their head, but, cutting down an oak tree means having to deal with all of that wood. Oh, are these plains? Ooh, this is a tiny little plains area. Oh, that's a death skeeto. Screw that. Interesting. Okay. Not great, because I don't really see any good resources from the plains over there. I just see bugs that'll kill ya. Oh, more plains. Okay, well. Oh, now I realize it is just about nighttime. That is not great. A full belly, a full sail, the weight of a spear in your hand, and a song on your lips. Let all the mountains crumble, and all the seas boil to salt. One day in the sun is a life well lived. I'd rather the mountains not crumble and the seas not boil, though. That would be my pref. Alright, I'm going to choose the path of common sense. And by that, I mean I'm going to go back to Hildir's. I'm going to crash at her place for a night, because I built it. And then I'm going to continue with my journey. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little surprised I ran into plains before swamp running down here, but I don't know. Not cosmically that bad. Oh, it probably could, Hildir. Can I sleep up there? I can see the thatching, but I can. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Okay, well that's that's not great. Okay, well, not great. We'll try. We're gonna try putting the bed as close over here as we can, with the hope that I can like kind of shimmy off the corner. And if I can't, yikes. Okay, that cuts off there, and then that starts going back that way. That's fine. It seems like just a tiniest little strip of plain running through the meadows. The only reason that spooks me a bit is the mountains have things that scare me right now, is the way that I'll phrase it. Not stuff that I don't know how to deal with, but more, if I make a mistake, I'm gonna get snorched in the most visceral of ways. And the plains have a lot of things that will do that, kind of whether I make a mistake or not. I am probably playing a little faster and looser than I should, getting kind of close to either of those still in Trollhide. I really do need to get into the swamps and find some. Do you really want to do this, my dude? Apparently you do. I need to get into the swamps, get some iron armor, and then I will be significantly less at risk. I could probably do with, honestly, making some bronze armor, but I might actually have some somewhere. I'll probably drop those seeds if I need inventory room. You know, if this just links up and this is just a lower tip to the continent, I honestly might not complain. Like, I know I talked about, like, it'd be cool to have a swamp here because then I can build a road to it, but admittedly, a good part of Valheim is, like, enjoying just sailing around, trying to, you know, navigate from place to place, and it would have been cool, but I also was worried I was gonna not engage with that part a lot. I say worried. Anytime I go sailing, I am titanically worried that it's just a sea monster is gonna find me. Or a sea serpent, whatever they're called. I don't fight them often, so I'm not sure. I long for the first time I went sailing, not because it was especially, like, good or profitable, but because I didn't know sea serpents were a thing. And just by some stupid chance managed to not just not get one spawned near me, even as I like sailed at night. I think there was I don't think there was a storm, and that might have been what saved me. They're more common during like the storms at sea, if I'm remembering right. But I was just blissfully unaware, just cruising around like, oh, this is, you know, a little weird, but I got the hang of it. I'm just trying to decide what to do. So, admittedly, I know it's farther away, but I don't really want to go back across the water. I think I'm going to run over to Hildir. It's more or less directly north of me. And I guess I might head back to the swamp area, because I need to find... I think I was in the process of... The ADHD makes this task list so hard. This is why I'm always doing a million things at once. Oh god, how do I move my map? I think I was like up here exploring like this swamp to see if like how many iron, or what's it called? It's not iron deposits, it's sunken tombs. That's what it is. I was trying to see how many sunken tombs there were, because if there was only one, I didn't want to build like this huge elaborate iron smelting facility. I think the next time I'm getting the itch to play Valheim, and I don't quite have the energy to record, I might just run around and do, like, some deer hunting. Just because that gives me hides and that gives me some meat. You know, run around, get some critter bitlins that are maybe a little boring or tedious to get while I'm trying to record. I say not having particularly done much thus far. Also, quick hydration check for anyone. Drink some water if you haven't. Beacon, first lamp, second lamp, and swamp. Swamp is probably where we're going. pretty assuredly that I probably won't need these. Well, it depends, I guess. Let's see what we can do. Let's do a smart first though. Set that spawn point, and now we're gonna go to the swamp. It's an exploration episode, it seems. Where am I? Right. Alright, that's... So I can go fill in this little run here, and then maybe see... My intent is to maybe run along the outside where it's, I want to say safer, because the mobs will chase you down. And of course, you know, the wild grey dwarves are kind of a experience all their own. So I think our goal is just going to be to go along the edges, see if there's a particular size that we can ordain to this thing, ascertain, ordain. And we'll see where that takes us. Got a little while left before Ike clears up. Oh, it spawned. Alright. Oh, damn, I kind of like that. There's a part of me that wants to try and, like, turn this into some kind of floor piece or something, but I know I can't do anything to change the angle. I'll take 200 gold coins, though. Don't mind if I do. I am actually glad to see this kind of wrapping around. Sometimes swamps, sometimes really it can be any biome, but sometimes they'll just spawn really small, or they'll, since they're like at the edge of a continent, and they, if there's another landmass close enough that they can be considered like kind of connected through the water, I've seen sometimes they'll, you know, spawn a little bit on one continent and then mostly on the other. And I like to... I'm a large biomes kind of cryptid. When I'm playing Minecraft, when I'm playing really anything that lets me build a base, I like a lot of space around it, because a lot of space means a lot of resources. And for the swamp, in particular, the more... Sorry, sometimes the random swamp noises are... they make the paranoid. The bigger swamps just mean more chances for the sunken tombs, for bone mass altars. I think that's actually the thing that I'm most interested in trying to find, is just a bone mass altar. A lot of leeches and a lot of big star leeches. Okay. raised ruin over there. Might be able to use that to get a little bit of sight. Oh! Goodbye. Farewell. I'll see you here again. Later, nerd. I'm gonna be elsewhere. Yeah, I don't. After seeing that, I don't. Oh, I don't like that you could run up this, because that probably means it can path up this. Oh, that's... How many arrows do I got 61 arrows? That could do a thing. Well... I am going to choose to try and... Oh, that thing is definitely going to be able to run up this log if I try any bullshit. Could it do this, though? We'll find out. Am I making a mistake? Am I making a mistake? I might be making a mistake. Mothman's making a mistake. Mothman's made a mistake. Somehow Mothman's alive. Mothman might be in a stalemate. Oh no. I was in the good spot and now I'm in the not spot. Okay, well that... Yeah, come on over here. I can fight ya. When I get your hitbox in the right position, I'm gonna fall off my log. Oh dear. Do you consider... Oh, why are there so many Draugr here, too? I'd love for all of you to fuck right off. Oh no! You are not allowed... Oh no. Oh no. You're not supposed to do that. I didn't know you could run up there and just punch me in the face. Oh, my confidence was built on a house of lies. Please come over here, Mr. Abomination. Senor Draugr, please fuck off. Look, I'm not saying I'm a coward, but I am saying I'm not gonna fight that on its own terms. We're gonna call this being a strategist. This is my argument for using the terrain in Valheim to your advantage. Because if it can't path to you, it can't hit you. Well, okay, no, we did determine that's a lie recently. Rather recently we determined that was some bullshit. Alright, that may be wandering off into the swamp though, so we're gonna... I can hear it walk. Oh, there it is. Are you coming back for violence? You might be. I do... So, operationally, I am going to be a little screwed if it is nightfall in the swamp, because that wasn't a great maneuver. I'm going to be a tiny touch screwed, because the night in the swamps is not a good time, and in fact is traditionally kind of terrible. I can see the little footfalls of dust in the distance, and I hope they stay over there. Unfortunately, oh no, there's an okay amount of space out there. I haven't seen many sunken crypts, which is sort of the disheartening thing. I think the next safe space is going to be over there. If I can't get to somewhere to sleep, I need to at least get out of the swamp. I don't really care if the abomination follows me, but I do care if what are they called? Wraiths spawn? The big ol' ghosts. Cause they hit something fierce. You were coming up behind me about ready to like punch me in the ass, so I don't want to hear it. I think. Art thou sure? Alright. Then let's do this. Let's make this simple. And by simple, I mean let's make it daytime. Alrighty. So we have a little bit more to fill out there. Up through this part. Should I make more arrows? I'm gonna make a real quick stop at Second Lamp to grab arrows. Also, somewhere along this journey, probably after I find enough iron to bother with it, I will finish making Beacon the port off of this main landmass. That's probably not where I keep the arrows. What do I got? I have flint heads. Yeah, I'll take flint heads. What does it take to make fire arrows? Those aren't especially strong, but they're not 8 resin, 2 feathers. Okay, they're not bad. I got feathers for days, so swap in one of those. Leave some pocket money here at this camp. One with some ancient bark. It's probably not going to do me much good, but whatever. I'll take that wood as well. Need a bunch of resin, which we know is out here. Because fire arrows, so the reason I like them is I'm a sucker for a damage over time effect. This is the forge. I'm a sucker for a damage over time effect, and the fact that this does fire damage is useful against some things that are more resistant to physical damage. It's never a lot, it's never, like, perfect, but it's pretty useful in the right circumstances, and I think that the abominations in the swamp probably qualify for the right circumstances. I believe they are weak to fire and are a little resistant to things like pierce, which unfortunately most of what the rest of the stuff is going to do. Alright. For exploration purposes, I will leave I'll probably leave some of the other arrows over at where is my portal? Over here in Stonegate. But I think what I'll do is I'll just bring 2 stacks of... I'll bring one... The flint heads, I think, are probably better for the Draugr, he said uncertainly. Alright, we'll... Actually, no. I know where we'll put them. This is not the best spot for them, but it's not the worst either. There we go. We'll also leave... We will bring one of each of those. Alright, now we go swamp. The swamp and we will go... Oh, no, wait, hang on, I should go back to... Well, should I? I think that's really just, like, up here. You know what, yeah. We'll go back through the Nameless Gate and then explore that little... the rest of that swamp there. Either it's got more sunken crypts or it doesn't. You know, it's not great if it doesn't, but at least we ran around exploring before we spent a lot of time building. Could also just be like another swamp on the same continent that's got stuff. Alright, and now let's preemptively break that and that. So that gives us enough juice to do each of those. And we'll just run out here. The abomination might still be kicking around. I don't fully know how that's gonna respond to things. Oh, shit. Hello. I did not see your ass running out the swamp at me. Alright, let's just... Admittedly, this is partially me remembering that blood bags from leeches are very useful. So I'm going to try and poke them where I see them. Yeah, getting a... Oh, wait, hang on, is that one, or is that a... It's not a sunken crypt, but it's something. Does it have anything that I should care about? Let's find out. Once we stab this dude. I'm gonna do my best to never think about the fact that, like, the entrails for the sausage dish come from the Draugr. Oh, there's a body pile. That's not good. Oh. That's bad. Let's... Well... Something, the better part of valor is discretion. That's the swamp. That's also not exactly what I want to see right there, but... Alright, let's... strategically vamoose. Actually, would they fight a troll? Can I instigate some bullshit here? Wait, is my block skill high enough that I could do that with a wood shield? Oh, that's kind of fun. I didn't think I could parry the trolls yet. Oh, that's outstanding. Alright. That means I can kick their ass real funny. Alright. Well, somewhat dishearteningly, that is the entire swamp. Got a boat there. Well, we'll do. We have the inventory bitlins to set up another portal, so what we'll do is... Well, I guess Elder Gate's over there, so if I have to break that one, I can run the supplies there. That's fine. What is... Yeah, that's pretty well full health. Got a bunch of bits. We're gonna get set off here. And by set off, I mean what we're gonna do is keep scrolling up the coast here. And we'll see if we can't loop around the island. See what's up and around here, and we'll want to be careful getting close to the sealed tower, because we know that's going to be in plains. But right now we've got the wind at our backs, and we should be able to at least explore the upper coast a little bit. If things get dangerous, you know, we'll do our best to either stick to the boat, or... That's a lot of leeches. Either the best to stick to the boat, or we will, you know, jump, depending on the danger, jump to land and set up a portal. I'll narrate anything interesting happening, but I might just let the sailing music play a bit. We'll check out like this area if we don't find anything up this way. Unfortunately, as long as we're near the swamp, we are going to be in like rain weather. We'll need to be a little bit cautious about how choppy those seas get. I see a landmass over there. See, the wind is telling me to go that way. But I don't know. Oh, actually, it does look like there's a little bit more swamp up this way. Not actually noting that. Let's clear boat temp, because we will need to move it up here if that's the case. It's at least some swamp. I can't tell if it's a very large one. there. Slap down a crafting table to repair any damage it may have sustained. Say hello to the locals. Those locals are cool. That local came at me with murderous intent. Oh, there's like a little trough of swamp, I guess, that runs up that way. Interesting. Alright. This might be a nothing burger, but you know what? We can at least... write it off the list. And if it just turns into plains, then you know we can vamoose just as easily. I can see the game lagging out a little bit, so I'm going to run a touch slower. I don't mind the occasional stutter in the recordings, but I know at one point I had a real slideshow kind of recording, and I'm trying not to reinstigate that experience. Okay, so it does get a little larger, but I don't... Let the meat roll down into that pond there. Maybe it'll keep the slimes and the leeches distracted. I know that's not how the game works, but let me have my fiction. Huh. Yeah, no, that's... Yeah, by the map's reckoning, I'm in a swamp right now, but that ain't the case. Well, here's the catch. If I run too far away from where my boat is, then I am going to have to do some retrieving later. And that is a farther distance than I would care to run. So, we, being unrested, are going to head back. It seems like it is meadows to either side. You know, maybe I will try following a different path next time. Or maybe I'll just continue sailing around this continent until I get the shape of it. Since this might be a little bit of exploration past here, and I'm already floating at about an hour, I'll probably end the recording here, but maybe I'll sail around a little bit more just in my own time here. I don't think it's going to be anything more exciting than me kind of just doing this, popping off the boat, finding a swamp that may or may not be the right size, and making various comments as I go along. Which I get is kind of the chill vibe of this, but I don't know. I don't know that I feel like recording me just sailing around. Seems to be behaving as far as like frame rate goes and all, but don't want to push my luck on that front. So I'm gonna get some rest here and go back and sail a bit, and I'll pick up a recording again if anything interesting happens. So with that, I'll see you all around next time. Be kind to each other. Peace and love, everybody.